Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. As in the previous lecture video, we discussed that what are CSS box model, and in today's lecture video we will discuss about CSS Cascade, that what are CSS Cascade and how CSS Cascade are used in our web pages and in our website development. So let's get started. Okay, so now here we will discuss some points about CSS Cascade, that what are CSS Cascade. So basically the term cascade, it isn't just a fancy name, it describes how styles flow from a different source and layers to determine the final appearance of an element. Think of a just a set of rules, that there are some set of rules. Think of it as a set of rules. Which styles apply when multiple rules target the same element? That which any style that you apply on the multiple rules that target the same element. In what and the second point is that in what order those rules are evaluated. In short, the cascade ensures that your browser can resolve the conflict between competing CSS declarations. And there are some pillars. The three main pillars of CSS Cascade are, we will describe its some main pillars. CSS Cascade, three pillars of CSS Cascade. So now in this lecture we will discuss these three pillars. First is the importance, second is the specificity, and third is the source order, that through which source it is ordered. Importance, that why it is important. So basically styles can be marked as important using /important. For example, I will give an example that if I write in our Visual Studio Code button, opening tag or angle bracket, color, comma red, slash apostrophe is there, important, and apostrophe comma. So here is an example, and the close it. Here is the example of its importance, and this declares will override almost any other style for that property. But remember, overusing this important can also make your code hard to maintain, and if you use this code or use this important slowly and gradually, you can be very grateful. Use it only when necessary. And now is the second point, which is specificity. So not all selectors are created equally, but specificity decides which selector is more powerful. Like it is the decision of this element, it decides that which selector is more powerful. It also describes its element, that type of selector, class selector, id selector, and inline selectors. And it's also like p, button, and main, and even specific. And it doesn't looks to it types, but it doesn't looks to it lowest specificity, strongest specificity, or stronger still. So we will give a quick example of that type. For example, there is a p for the paragraph and the color is blue. And here is the angle brackets. Now the specificity we choose is low. Is low. Here is the star and slash. Now the article that I choose is p, and the color for the article is green. So when I choose higher specificity, so the content, as we discussed, the content, that the content p it should be colored as, for example, I choose red. You can choose any you want. The color is red, and even if I give it a even higher. So this was a quick example of specificity. Now the third and the last point of specificity is the source order. So if two rules have the same importance and specificity, the one that appears later in CSS, it wins. This is why CSS files are often structured when more general rules are at the top and overrides at the bottom. So before the browser even considers specificity or order, it looks at where the styles are coming from, and there are basically three origins of it: author style, user style, and the browser styles. The author styles generally override browser defaults, and user styles can sometimes override author styles, like especially if they are marked together. It's important, very important. Okay, so in the source style, we have another topic that if we put it all together, so what will happen? Now let's see the cascade in action. Suppose we have this HTML and we will practice in our Visual Studio Code. So I'll meet you in the Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I'm here in the Visual Studio Code and I have copy pasted the CSS Cascade file that I have given in our WhatsApp community. You have to copy from there and paste it at here. So when I open this file, it contains a file and three images: a solution file, a gold.png, an index.html, and the style.css. When I click on the solution file, it contains solution.css and solution.html. So these are the solutions, and here is our main focus, the index.html. So first of all, here is the HTML, lang, en, and the meta characteristic title. Your title is CSS Cascade, and here are the paragraph elements, the body, and the HTML. So our white text, you can also change it. For example, there are two white text and the style.html. So if I run this and start debugging on it, it contains this interface. So if I want to change this, I can also change it by writing. For example, if I write black text, and here also I will change it by writing black text. I will change it. Now I will start debugging and I hope it runs this code. Yes, it has run this code, and it is like here the black text. And if you want to change this one and this one, you will simply cross this and write up here that, for example, I will choose pink. For example, I will choose pink text, and here I will choose purple text. And when the inner box it chooses color, I will choose, for example, blue, BLUE, blue text, and here I will choose white text. You can change it as your will. So now I start debugging on it. So here it contains the text, blue text, pink text, white text, and the black text. I have changed the whole text. So it was today's lecture, and I hope you have understood something new. If you have liked this video and understood today's lecture, and if this video helped you understand how CSS decides which styles win, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, let me know in the comment box which CSS concept you liked the most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.